A blessed and humble morning. Continue to have a blessed and humble day. This y'all shorty Rachel. Let me welcome all of y'all to the Writers for Life Brings to the Let's Talk About It podcast, y'all. I'm just on this, John. Right? I just wanted to get a few things off my chest, y'all. Right? And I was listening to Papa Duck this morning, right? And he was talking about it's more than just 50-50. We are divided as a family and taken advantage of by the system. He says the system, I'm going to say the people running the system, all right? There's not a lot that I don't, that I, disagree with Papa Duck. I agree with the majority of the things he says, yo. Big shout out to Papa Duck. Dad, big shout out. But let me ask y'all a few questions, right? Before I play this little video that he has put up. I think he uploaded this yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, right? But are we divided by choice or by design? Is the system, right? Is the breakdown of family unity a symptom of personal failure or consequences of systematic manipulation, right? Can a family truly be whole when survival demands, right, individualism over unity? Is emotional labor in families undervalued because it can't be measured or because it's inconvenient to acknowledge? All right. So let me press play on Papa Duck real quick so y'all can listen. I'm gonna be asking, more questions as the video plays. I got an hour on this, John. So, let's do it. Let's talk about it.
I saw earlier was somebody was going back and forth about the 50-50 thing. Well, I'm not gonna be with a man if he got, if I gotta go 50-50 with a man. First of all, let me say this, right? The powers that be don't give a damn about your ignorance when it comes to you and your family, because you must understand, they sought out to destroy your family. Back when Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and the boy was coming back, the government wasn't supporting and backing them financially. It was black families.
When too much work bogs you down, Asana helps you handle it. AI makes it easy to hand off routine tasks and
Yo, what's happening?
I apologize for the commercial. Man, let's get right back to it. That was a commercial, man. But let's get right back to it. Let's hear what Papa Doug got to say about it being 50-50, right? I just asked y'all a few questions, right? Let's listen to what he got to say.
About this 50-50 thing. I'm not gonna be with a man if I gotta go 50-50 with a man. First of all, let me say this, right? The powers that be don't give a damn about your ignorance when it comes to you and your family, because you must understand, they sought out to destroy your family. Back when Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and the boy was coming back, the government wasn't supporting and backing them financially. It was black families. This is when they came in with COINTELPRO. This is when they came in with the man in the house law. Go look it up. You can Google this. Go Google the man in the house rule. The powers that be that were all against, mainly the black families, they sought out to break up black families. And here you go saying, I'm not going to be with a man if he can't go 50-50. But let's break this down. All right, this shit gonna make so much sense. Please pay attention, right? This is not to bash nobody, but I'm just gonna get to show you just how crazy that sounds when you really know what we're all up against, right? First of all, this is not pertaining to women that do pull their weight, the ones that cook, clean, tend to the kids, take care of the doctor notes, apartments. The woman that does do their job, because when a woman does do their job, a man don't have a problem with paying all the bills.
And Papa Doug, yo, big shout out to Papa Doug, because listen, he is not the first man I've heard say that, right? And this is why I constantly tell females, right? I tell young ladies, it's not 50-50. When it comes to a relationship, it's 100-100. You have to put in, he has to put in order for it to work out, especially when you have kids, yo. We got Gary Busted Down in the building, guys. Make sure y'all go check him out. Great conversations, great topics. Let me put it like this, this, right? He is not Papa Duck, right? I can't compare them. Two different people, right? But similar topics, yo. Shout out to my OG Gary Bust It Down, because when you go to his channel, man, you always gain something out of it. All right, but Papa Duck is not tripping, you know, right now. Like, it's so many people saying this, especially the women, right? Now, I'm not gonna sit here and lie. I have started hearing some men start saying the same thing, right? And like I said earlier, who taught us that 50-50 was enough? And who benefits when we settle for less? All right? So he is spitting some gems right there. Us females, right? Like I've said time after time, I know women get mad at me, man. If you could do it by yourself, if you could be bad all by yourself, then you don't need that man right there. There's no point to keep him by your side, right? If at the end of the day, right, you don't need his money, you don't need him to open the door, you don't need him to be polite, you don't need him to pay a bill, you don't need him for shit, but you need him for sex? Shit. A nigga's gonna tell you go buy a dildo or go, you know, pay for it. Maybe, right? What does it look like when every member gives their full self, and why is that so rare? Is 100 possible in a system that drains us before we get home? If work, stress, and societal pressure leave us depleted, how can we show up? How can we show up fully for our families? Are we taught to give 100% to institutions, but only fragments to each other? Right? Does striving for 100 expose the emotional poverty we've normalized? And once again, I say we've for a reason. And I know that this conversation might, you know, get a few women rattled up, pissed off, some men like, what the fuck is you talking about? But what I am telling you is something that's been passed down to me, not by somebody my age, not by somebody younger than me. I'm telling you by somebody that, you know, has been seasoned by age, somebody that's got that wisdom and that knowledge, that's walked trenches. All right, literally has walked trenches. All right, like this knowledge has been passed down to each and every one of us by somebody. The problem is that a lot of us, how can I say it, are so caught up in these trends. Papa Duck is not wrong about what he said. If you go look up when all of this started, right, you will learn. That's why I be telling people, man, y'all need to pick up a book, right? Pick up your books and learn your history before you end up in a motherfucking ditch making history. Blessings to prep girly, my bad. 100 equals a solid relationship. Facts, OG. Uncle L in the building. Welcome to Philly, baby. Yo, my Bugs Bunny teeth are showing. But big shout out to Uncle L, right? Let me play a little bit more of what Papa Duck is saying, right? So y'all can get a better understanding why I'm saying what I'm saying. All right? Let me get my pretty face out the camera. Here you go. Oh, come on, boo. Come on, boo. Keep spilling them beans, boo-boo.
Like I say, you shouldn't expect a man to pay the bills. You should want a man to pay the bills. There's a difference. But for those who feel as though just, oh, I look good, or, you know, you're not equating what this guy's bringing to the table as far as paying all the bills, and these is for those type of people. Because those people are in a fairy tale. This is no disrespect. But you must understand, if the powers that be are out to destroy black families, which they've done it through child support, they've done it through movies, through everything you see around you. Everything was geared towards splitting up the black families, and they've done a damn good job about it. Now they're pushing the narrative of, I'm not going 50-50 with this man, I'm not going 50-50. If he ain't, first of all, if that's the case, then that means the man that you're with is going to go up against you. He's going to go up against all the pressures outside of the house, and he's going to go up against the ones at the top that set all the rules for all of us. They got us all working and paying bills every 30 days for the rest of our lives. This guy's going to go up against all that. Second of all, it ain't about having money today or tomorrow. It's about having money well when you are long gone. The long game. Do you know how it is to maintain? Okay, say you go buy a house. You got a 30-year mortgage. You have to maintain your health for 30 years. And the food we eat is shitty, right? Everything, the medicine is shitty. Everything is out to go against you. That's why I say this video gonna make so much sense. Because everything and everybody is around you, the powers that be, from the top to the bottom, they are against your ass. And if the person you're with, you're not teaming up with them, y'all are more opponents than teammates. You're gonna lose. The man gonna lose. And this is why I say this is so important for you to understand this. You understand me? So for 30 years, you got to maintain finances, health. You got to maintain your relationship. You got to maintain the outside pressures. You got to maintain jealousy. You got to maintain temptation. It's a lot of shit that you're gonna have to maintain. And you saying you're not gonna pay bills with a man. I'm not gonna be with a man if he ain't paying all the bills, he ain't going 50-50. Bro, when you think about it and you look at all this, what I'm telling you, it don't make sense. There's no relationship that I would want to be a part if my significant other can't see me as we are teammates, not opponents. Because soon as
That's some real shit. I didn't mean to pause, Papa Duck right there, but that is some real shit, man. Why am I with a man as though I gotta see him as my ops? Like I gotta watch my back. You know, I don't feel like I'm secure. If I'm with a man, like my baby pops, right? My fiance, I'm with him because I feel secure. I feel as though, right, that he could satisfy my every need. I'm not just with him because he's got money. Nah, man, we was together when we was both up. We was together when we was both down. You see where I'm coming from? We've seen each other come up and come down. We've been with each other through thick and thin. That right there is my best friend. I know his secrets. Listen, like I tell people, I was at one point his black diary. You see where I'm coming from? So it's kind of like, I don't understand a lot of these females. Like, if you feel so insecure with the man that you're with, leave him and be by yourself. If you're so independent and you don't need him for shit, then be by yourself. As far as I'm concerned, shit, if you're so independent and you don't need him for nothing but the dick, then go get yourself some plastic shit on some real shit. Or like some of these men say, go pay for some dick. Like some men do when they by themselves. They pay for it, right? They pay for the pussy. So go pay for the fucking dick. Oh shit, I got some comments down below. Let me see. Uncle L says COVID-19 really destroyed the Black Family Foundation. Laughing my ass off. That's some real shit though. Welcome in, Christy Eubanks. Oh, blessings. Welcome, Christy. I did not see that. Damn.
once that dude's money run dry, you're gonna run right out the door with it. I've been living long enough, man. Dudes as we're significant other can't see me as we are teammates, not opponents. Because soon as that dude's money run dry, you're gonna run right out the door with it. I've been living long enough, man. Can't nobody tell me. See, I'm the OG now, right? Thank the Most High I've been living long enough. I've seen enough. I don't need you to tell me. I'm telling you, right? And when you get the right person that reciprocates what you bring to the table, you'll see a big difference. This is what a man would want to do for a woman. See, it's a lot of fairy tale people. It's a lot of fairy tale men out there. It's a lot of fairy tale women out there. So we're just talking about those, like I say, who really trying to do something, want something, and need the right information on this shit. You want to be with somebody who's going to reciprocate what it is you're putting up. So therefore, that man gonna want to take care of you. See, when a nigga want to take care of you, that's way more stronger than he need to. It's a lot of things people need to do and supposed to do. They don't do it for whatever reason. But when you get somebody, same way with a woman, when you get a woman that wants to do for you, right? And we're not talking about, oh, we could do for a man, he's still gonna mess over you, or a man can do for a woman, they still gonna mess over you. We're not talking about them people. See, that's another problem we have. We celebrate failure. We're talking about the ones that have been together from day one. They still intact. They got their one house. They got their family. They take family trips. They fill the scrapbooks with memories and pictures. We never celebrate them.
Yo, real shit. Yo, shout out to Ms. Yo Thoughts, man. Shout out to Ms. Akimi. That's something that I said yesterday on her live, man. We don't celebrate the people that promote this positivity, right? We promote the ones that show the toxicity, right? Oh, this is how our family is. It's never going to change. This is how we should be. This is what it's going to be. Ain't no changing this. Ain't no breaking the chains. Bullshit, motherfucker. There's people out here that have, how can I say, that have families, that fight for their families, that cherish their families, that give it 100. You see where I'm coming from? Like, if your family gave you 100, would the system still have power over you? Are we divided because we're broken or because we've been broken? What would happen if we stopped out searching? Yeah, I said it right. Out searching accountability and started healing together. What would happen, right? Is your family surviving or thriving? And who thought that you would be the difference? Real shit, right? These are conversations that are really needed, man. Shout out to Gary Busted Down Brown. Shout out to The Word. Shout out to Nate the Great podcast. Shout out to, the men that come on these social media platforms, right? And they don't just, start drama, act like fools, act like clowns. No, man, they bring awareness. Listen to the word that I just put out there, all right? The word that I just put out there. They bring awareness. Let me say it slower for the retards in the back, all right? They bring awareness to what's really needed, all right? How does the system profit from broken families? Let me tell you, from child support courts to foster care to prison pipelines, who gains when families fall apart? Is the independent hustle culture a distraction from collective healing? Are we being conditioned to mistrust each other? So we rely more on the system. Something that Gary Busted Down Brown has brought on his lives. Something that the word has talked about throughout his lives. Stuff that we bring up throughout our lives on this channel. This is why we bring these lives. This is why we open panels, so that we can have conversations that really do matter. All right. Or we could put it down like the word did the other way. Let's have a conversation about things that don't matter. Maybe that'll draw people's attention. All right. Because it's crazy. Gary says it time after time. We've been conditioned. Why is therapy a luxury, but incarceration a default? What does that say about how society values healing versus punishment? You see where I'm coming from? It's no more 100. It's 50-50 now. We live in an independent society, not realizing that in order to make these communities function, we have to depend on one another to make the society work. Shout out to Gary Busted Down for breaking that shit down, and the shorty can now actually speak on it, because his perspective, his way of viewing life helped the shorty actually see it another way. All right? Because I was stuck in the matrix just like y'all. But see, he ain't tell me what to do, right? He ain't say, Ray, this is like this is like, no. He provoked my mind. He tested it. He asked it questions. He said, now go out there and figure it out. He's like, go out there and research, right? Don't say what I'm saying. Go out there and research your information and see what I'm saying, so that you could go about it this way, that way. Now soak in the information that I gave you, learn it, and do something about it. That's how I saw it. How y'all see and how y'all perceive things, I don't know. But see, when these men come online, or the women that come online, right, and they bring awareness to certain topics and they bring this information out, is a stepping tool for me. It's a little stepping ladder. Like, all right, get your little 411 ass up on that little stepping ladder, right, and reach your fucking goal. All right, I'm giving you information on things you can seek, and now go out there and expand yourself. All right. Maybe y'all don't understand where I'm coming from, but listen, man, we got to put ourselves in. All of ourselves in when it comes to a relationship, when it comes to family. You're not just going to put 10% in. You're not just going to put 20% in and expect it to work. It don't work like that.
Right? And this is no disrespect when I say this. You'll see the mothers, you have on, 2 or 3 kids, all of that on the pajamas. They taking, Christmas pictures, and they doing this. And it seems to be as that's a strong, independent woman. That's a failed situation, however you want to put it. We normalize that type of shit. No disrespect to a woman taking care of her children. No disrespect to a man taking care of his children. But we normalize failure. And the ones who are still together, been together, Done pushed through all the naysayers and the family had to say this, and they pushed through everything, and they still together. Where they trophies at? Where they flowers at? This shit just like playing baseball.
That's some real shit. You know when people get their roses? You know when people get their props, man? When it's time to put them in the casket. That's why I told Ms. Akimi and Ms. Yothos when they were there live yesterday, I said it, man, I'm going to give you your roses and your props now. Because when I come to your channel, I gain something. I learn something. You're not just on here trying to debate. You're not on here trying to argue. No, you're on this, John, giving advice, right, and willing to listen to people. You're willing to listen to the questions and answer. Now, it's up to people on how they take what they have been talked to about. I hope I said that wrong, but I feel like it came out backwards out my mouth. Let's continue.
The ball, boom, you run the first base and get halfway to second, and we celebrate that shit.
Real shit, real shit. Papa Duck, you ain't lying. Gary Busted Down says, I wish I should put this on the computer. Some people's peace is chaos. They want a piece of toxicity instead of peace of life. That's some real shit. Uncle L says, true, Gary. In order to change your life, the bullshit has got to stop. That's some real shit. That's some real shit right there, yo.
We don't celebrate the ones that go first, second base, first base, second base, third base, home. We don't celebrate them. The ones who've been together, still together, and staying together. We celebrate the ones who have failed situation for whatever reason. For whatever reason, it didn't work. Failed situation, right? So I'm just keeping it real, bro. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I'm just gonna keep it a buck, you know what I'm saying? We have to start really using common sense, bro. I wouldn't want to be with nobody who would want to put everything on me. I want to be with nobody the weight of the world. Some men are fortunate to be rich. Some men are fortunate to have resources. Not all men and women are like that. To me, people don't live based off the resources they have, the things they can do. You know, trying to look at these people, everybody putting their highlights online. They'll never show you when they end up crying, or when they broke, or when they going through something. Everybody's smiling and having fun. That's fantasy. The algorithm gonna push this on you and make you think, damn, she doing good because she always taking these pictures and getting dressed and makeup, or he always showing his money. He always in his cars. Let me tell y'all something. This is what I learned. People who really got it, they don't care to show it.
And that's some real shit right there, man. I don't care how much money I come across. I'm always gonna stay like this on some real shit. I even make my own clothes. Like, I tell people, I make my own clothes. You see where I'm coming from? Like, I don't give a fuck how people think, how I look. You see what their perspective of me when it comes to my image, my personality, right? I don't give a fuck as long as I myself am happy with who I am, what I look like. You see where I'm coming from? That's one thing that I'm starting to notice that a lot of people respect from me, right? That I can give 3 fucks what people think about me. How I carry myself, how I dress myself, and some real shit. Like I tell people, when I need to dress, I dress. And I know I sure as hell look nice in it. I look beautiful, more beautiful than what I look like, dressed getaway shit. There's times where I've come outside very disrespectful, and I don't give a fuck. This is me. Take me as I am or keep it fucking moving. Because I'm taking you as you are. No fucking judgments, no complaints, no nothing. You see where I'm coming from? That's why I respect my baby Pops, yo. Because he's seen me. He's seen me dressed up. You see where I'm coming from? Glamorous, beautiful. And he's also seen me at my worst. And he's respected that. We're a team. It's 100. When I'm down, he helps me get up. When he's down, I help him get up. We're supposed to help each other. You see where I'm coming from? You know how many times I told people, we have joint account. Oh, I ain't sharing. Listen, I want y'all to understand, when y'all hear joint account, doesn't mean that all our money is just in one fucking little bucket. All right? It's a bucket in the middle. There's a joint account right there. Boom. Emergencies, things that are needed for the house, for the family. Then he's got his account. I got my account. When I run low, he pitches in. Especially when I take my daughter out to places and I'm running low on the money that I got. Baby Pops, I need a PayPal. I need a Cash App. I'm short on this. Boom, boom, boom. No hesitation, no questions, no nothing. And I don't even have to give him an explanation because there's been times where I'm like, yo, I need $30. Boom, it's been right there. So if he's treating me like a fucking queen, tell me why in this motherfucking world I shouldn't treat him like the fucking king he is. I had bitches tell me, oh, you putting him on a pedestal. Tell me why I'm putting him on a pedestal. Because I am showing him love. Because he's giving it to me. Because he's showing me that not all the men are the fucking same. He's showing me a different side of the men that I grew up being used to. It was crazy, right? That the men that I'm really used to ain't even like the men that I've seen in schools or out here in the streets. The man that I am with, I could sit here and say is the closest to my grandfather. And as crazy as he is, he's not old. He's only just hitting 41. I'm 35. No, he hit 42. My bad. He's 42. I'm 35. So that's some real shit, Gary Bussendale. Common sense is not common sense no more at all. At all, yo. For real, for real. Like, are you giving 100 or just surviving on autopilot? Did your family teach you love or just endurance? Who taught you that silence was safer than truth? Is your family broken or just unhealed? What would happen if we stopped surviving and started showing up? That's some real shit. Those are some real questions, all right? Does the system exploit our trauma to keep us divided and dependent? I'm going to say that the motherfuckers running the system does, right? Welfare policies that punish two-parent households, prisons that remove fathers, schools that ignore emotional intelligence. It's all connected. All right. I'm not just talking to fucking talk shit. I've done my research. I've walked these trenches. All right. I'm not just helping my son survive this cruel world. I'm helping his friends that are walking the trenches with him. All right. Are we being emotionally taxed by a system that profits out from our pain? Therapy is inaccessible. Mental health is stigmatized, but punishments is immediate and profitable. Is family division a form of societal control? When we're disconnected, we're easier to manipulate, easier to survival, easier to be silenced. So instead of being connected, let's disconnect. Easier to be less manipulated, easier, to have to sit here and survive, easier to not be silenced. But, that's just me. This is my opinion. This is my perspective. Like I told y'all, all I do is just bring my thoughts, right, and get them out my head, through my mouth, right, and into the mic for y'all to hear. Whether, it's pain, whether it's, how can I say it, thriving, surviving, whatever y'all want to call it, right? Me, it's called bringing awareness, giving some of this shit some poetic justice, right? People are always exposing the toxicity, right, of everything, but let's expose the positive side of certain things, right? It's being exposed, right? But how do we do that? By talking about it, right? How do we do that? By having conversations that matter, like the word says, like Gary Bussendale says, let's talk. Let's not argue. Let's not debate. Let's not treat each other like we are ops. And for some reason, living and surviving in this world, when we're talking to somebody or dealing with somebody, the majority of the people feel like they are on survival mode, like they're talking to their ops all day, 24/7. It shouldn't be like that. When we talked about how the system was made, right? 4 thoughts, 4 different generations going even before medieval time, right? From men that thought that this is how the system should be, and voila, 2025, this is the system we're living under. Can it be changed? I mean, there is enough of us, but if word came, we drop like flies. Let's continue.
The richest people I know, you will never know they rich. So why is it that you always trying to use these trinkets and these splashy shit to convince you to do something? Ain't that what the devil do?
Real shit. The richest people I know shop at Walmart. And they're not broke, they rich, they just want to live in they got their fucking house. They don't just got a house here, they got a house somewhere else where they go vacation at. But this is what, this is where they spent their hard-earned money, like they say. A lot of us know a lot of rich people. Some of us is just fooled because they're dressing just like us. They're living in a house just like us. Some of us think they're renting, but in reality, they own their shit, the property and probably the land that's on it. But they're in the middle, right, in the midst of us, because some of them say the more money, more problems. Who said that? Biggie Smalls? I'm not sure. I think it was him. More money, more problems. So, and it's true. Look at us, the ones that are trying to climb up the ladder. When we do manage to climb up the ladder, we got haters on every angle, trying to make us fucking fall. Leeches with their hands ready to itching, ready to go. Listen, man, that's all we got is leeches with their hands itching, ready to see you go missing on some real shit. Whether it's family, whether it's friends, or whether it's people in the community. Why? Because we live in a world that thinks we should be independent. Yeah, we can be independent. It is crucial for you to do things on your own. But in order to make a community work, a society work, we have to depend on each other. We need firefighters to pull out the fires and, whatever house burns down. Whenever they burn trash and fucking trash can. Yeah, I said it right. And trash cans and shit like that. We need police officers, right, to bring down the crime. When something's happening, who do people call right away? 911, what's your emergency? Right or wrong? We need people in the water department, right, to sit here and fix the water. Water should be free, but in America it's marked. Welcome to America, right? Where, the air you breathe, even the water you drink, even, how can I say? Welcome to America, where even the air you breathe and the water you drink, you have to pay for it. On some real shit. Welcome to America. Once again, I'm going to put it like this to make a long story short, where the water is marked. You have to pay in order to survive. And they say it's land of the free.
That's why I say just use common sense. Another thing is the world we live in ain't relationship friendly. Everything's so accessible. Today's women ain't yesterday's women. Today's men ain't yesterday's men. I always say this, when in the 30s and the 40s, all we had was family. That's all we had. So the man took the son, they went out, they plowed, they brought food home while the mama and the daughter stayed home, they cooked, they cleaned. Fast forward today, today's women ain't yesterday's women. Today's men ain't yesterday's men. In the environment that you're in, you ain't got nothing to do with it.
That's some real shit. Even if you was born in the 60s, in the 70s or the 80s, I'm seeing men born in that generation acting like today's men. And they're supposed to be built from their flaws. That's the crazy part. It's like you can't tell what's what no more. We know the world is an illusion, but goddamn, do we have to be a part of the illusion? I didn't know I was a fucking magician.
Built nothing. You ain't had nothing to say. You had no say so on these movies they put on TV that puts women and men in a fucked up light. You ain't had nothing to do with nothing. You've been programmed this whole ride, your whole life. You've been programmed. If you ask yourself, who told you to do the shit you do? You couldn't even probably say. Because you don't understand what television does. You don't understand what media and propaganda does to the brain. If they wanted women to just rely on their butt and their titties and their looks, they know how to do it, which they've done. You could go to Facebook right now or Instagram. If you scroll through 20 people's pictures out of 20, I guarantee at least over half of them 20, you're going to see a woman taking a picture showing her ass. Her ass is going to be pointed to the camera. That's not a coincidence. That's a conditioning. We don't have culture. Culture is what wraps things together. Culture is what the ancestors did in order to keep us aligned, right? Keep us covered up. Keep us not breaking rules. This is what culture does. Culture is the lines in the road. If the road didn't have lines, you'll be all over the fucking road. But those lines are there to keep you in line. So when they took our culture and replaced it with this Western world bullshit that has an agenda attached, all black women showing their ass, we're going to promote that. That's what propaganda and heavy promotion does through music, through TV, through radio. So now you thinking you got to have a fat ass in order to be accepted. You got to have these titties and all this to be accepted. Who told you that? So what I'm saying is this, bro. We're living in an environment that's going to promote promiscuous acts. It's going to promote whorish women or whorish activity or over-sexualizing everything. It makes it seem that if you ain't this, you ain't that, then you ain't gonna get talked about. You don't get no attention. But the women who hold themselves as women, the ones who don't be showing themselves all the time, the ones who know how to reserve themselves for that special person, the ones who can turn down them trips and reserve them trips for her husband or somebody she really want to go with instead of just going. Same thing with men. They will reserve paying for trips or going with somebody they just having a little fling with and say that for their wife. You know what I'm saying?
That's some facts right there, yo. Papa Duck is spitting some gems right here, yo. Gary Busted Down says, do you know if you collect rainwater, you can get in trouble? I didn't know that. Oh, shit. That's something new. I just learned something new today. Shout out to Gary Busted Down Brown, yo. That's wild. I did not know that. But he is spitting the gems right there. Like all this, like we become a society where, you know, we got fatherless childs, motherless childs, right? What does 100 look like in a world built on emotional absenteeism, right? Absentee parents. Let me put it like that. It's not just financial contribution, right? It's presence, vulnerability, right? Accountability and healing. Can we give 100 if we've never seen it modeled, right? If love was conditional, if support was transactional, how do we learn to show up fully? And that's what I tell people. How do we expect certain people, right, to, you know, give, how can I, let me put it like this. How can I expect you to render love, right, when at the end of the day, it's never been given to that person? This person doesn't even know what love is, what it consists of, what defines love. Or when you even ask what defines love in this, context, they can't even explain it. Is 100 a rebellion? Is a rebellion against generational emotional debt, right? We inherit silence, shame, and sacrifice. But what happens when we choose radical transparency instead? Real shit. How about we do the opposite, right? Of what they say it should be like this. But if your gut is telling you, no, man, this doesn't seem right, why not just, follow your gut and do something different, right? Was 50-50 ever about fairness or just a way to keep us from expecting more? When we settle for half effort, half love, half truths, we normalize emotional, right? How can I say? We normalize emotional scarcity. All right, like we end up building, right, tattoos, right? How can I say? We end up drawing tattoos in our heart that shouldn't be there. Let's put it like that, right? We're scarring our hearts. Is 50-50 a survival tactic passed down from generations who couldn't afford to give more? Did our ancestors teach us to split everything because they were split by trauma, poverty, and systematic oppression? And no, that's why y'all constantly hear me say on my lives, man, our ancestors, man, they got to be rolling around in circles in their grave if they see what we're doing today in society. Hi.
I'm turning light on.
Give me a minute, baby. I'm almost done with this live, okay? Who benefits when we believe that half is enough? Institutions thrive when families are fractured because broken homes create dependency on external systems. So, would it be any different if we had a governless city? I mean, if we had governless cities and states and stuff like that, if we ran our own cities, if there was no leaders to sit here and lead us, would it be the same? Or, I mean, yeah, would it be the same or would things change? I hope I said that right.
This just ain't the times right now. Everybody partying and having a good time. So when you speak of the godly things that God said we should do, and this and that. And when I say this, I don't want this to go over your head, but God ain't in control of what these folks do to us. If that was the case, you don't think God can say, that ain't right, and change it? See, you so stuck on this, God gonna come change it, when you should be changing it yourself. See, the people who run this motherfucker, they know. Them niggas think God gonna come and fall out of the sky. He ain't came yet, but we gonna keep telling them that while we keep running and controlling everything. While we keep putting them under this negative light, right? And they still waiting. They still waiting. And we even told them they gotta die before they can get heaven. When they get their heaven right now on earth. Christianity is the only religion where you gotta die to go to heaven or to receive heavenly things. Man, we've been so fucked up so long. The smallest thing we get, we think that's the end all be all. That's the best. Well, it ain't all that, but you know, God on God. Man, come on, bro. Man, you locked in box, man. And people don't like when I talk about that, but bro, this is my one only life, man. I will not lie to you. And don't lie to yourself. If what I'm saying is wrong, then you tell me. For the same people that put you in this environment that got our women thinking the way they thinking, got men thinking the way they think, our children thinking the way they think. These the same people that gave you religion. You know that, right? I don't know now nigga that got a print press that can print books. Where who owns the copyrights to the Bible? I told y'all who do. The crown, the royal families, Queen Elizabeth. Come on, man, y'all better open. I told y'all we are the 2025 peasants. No resources, no real education, no lack of. I mean, we got no real education. You know.
Papa Duck, I get you, man. I know what you're saying. People just don't want to wake up.
Saying no resources, no money. You know what I'm saying? We just filled with belief systems that never work. They're never gonna work. Hope this ain't gonna be out here. It's your boy Papa Duck. So when you say I ain't going 50-50 with a man, just know, as a man, just know you're more so likely going to be dating an opponent, unless she's doing everything on her end as a woman to equate with what you're doing. But if all you feel as though is, if you got a female and you know she just said, I'm a woman, you're a man, she'll pay all the bills and this and that, you got an opponent. Cause as soon as your money run low, she going right behind it. I've been living long enough, bro. A real woman, you gonna know. A real woman, you gonna ask, or you gonna do for her. Not because she got a vagina between her legs, but because of how she acts and what she does and how she, preserve herself. You don't know. Feelings can't lie. Feelings not set up to lie. Right? Feelings can't lie. Remember that. So if you got a female that's doing everything she's supposed to do up to your likings, and you're gonna know if it's her or not because you're gonna want to do for her. I'm a man. Like I tell women, you can't tell me shit about a man. Just like I can't tell you shit about a woman. So pay attention. When a man wants to do for you, when he literally wants to do for you, not because you got a fat ass or not because you got a vagina or not because of, but he wants to do for you, you got yourself something. Rule of thumb. And remember, today's people ain't yesterday's people. That go for men and women. We got to stop trying to live these biblical times in current times. Like the things they did then, like you gotta watch out for tradition. The world ain't the same. It's a total different world now, boy. So with that being said, I hope I ain't go over nobody's head. And if it did, it is what it, we grown, you know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. I love y'all, and I'm just telling you, when you, depending on how old you are, you may take this message a certain way, but as you get older, you start to realize shit. You know, when you get out of those stages where you know you can't do the stuff you used to do, you're not a jitterbug no more. You got kids getting older. You start looking at life totally different. So I don't expect for a young person to understand totally what I'm saying.
Thanks.
And for those who do know, they know. They've been through enough shit, just like I've been through enough shit. They know. They know. They know. It's your boy Papa Duck, man. Put your comments on the bottom of this video. And like I tell you all the time, in order for you to be found, you must first be lost.
That's some real shit, man. I love watching me some Papa Duck. He's always got some gems to spill, man. He gets you to start thinking like on some real shit. Like listening to this video had me researching and talking and asking questions, right? And what's crazy is, right, could this be, you know, generational trauma inherited, silence inherited, survival, that we inherit emotional debt disguised as strength, right? And one thing that I could sit here and tell you is that our families taught us to be tough, not tender, to endure, not express. That's not resilience, it's repression. All right, that's what it is. It's survival mode. It's survival mode our default because healing was never modeled, right? And I feel as though when your parents were too busy surviving to love fully, you learn to mistake absence is normal. And I hope that don't go over y'all heads. Oh, we got a troll. We got somebody on here deflecting in the chat. It's okay. You can go outside and twirl on something if what I'm saying offends you, if it bothers you. There's a couple rainbows out there you can hop on, all right? Especially if, you know, what I'm saying is offending. You don't gotta be here. See, this live is not for everybody. It's for those that are interested, right, on having conversations that do matter. So if you're not interested in having conversations that do matter and you want to be an ugly ass troll underneath a fucking, you know, bridge trying to collect some bread, well, guess what? You ain't getting it over here. You ain't getting no passes over here. And I'm not on my, let me see. Oh, I can't do it. So I'm gonna have to come over here. Can I block them over here? That's what we do over here. Welcome to Throwland. Bye-bye, bitch-ass nigga. So always somebody negatives. You see, you ain't throwing me off my fucking hinges, right? Are we repeating patterns, right? We swore we break because we never learned how to build new ones. And I feel as though you can't heal what you won't name. And most families are fluent in silence, right? I feel as though a lot of people are scared to speak up because it's something that they've been around, right? This is something they've seen, right? Something they was taught. You can't speak up, or what you're saying is not true. I mean, it could be so many reasons why a lot of people stay silent because, you know, due to the things that happened around them, from abuse to, you know, broken promises to neglect and much more, right? Was the nuclear family ever meant to survive in a system built to dismantle it? From slavery to mass incarceration, the system has always found ways to separate, right? Surveil and suppress. Do policies punish unity because unity is power? And I feel as though welfare rules, right? Welfare rules that penalize two parents, two-parent homes, right? School systems that ignore cultural trauma, courts that turn love into litigation, right? We live in a system, right, where, you know, the people that run the school system ignore the fact that a lot of these kids get groomed, get abused. You see where I'm coming from, right? And when parents try to fight it, some of them lose the battle because they don't know their rights, their their laws or what they can do or how they can go about the situation, right? And it's fucked up, right? Led to believe that we have to depend on welfare, but is that something that the system made, or is that something that the people made, right, to cheat the system because the system is cheating them? I can go about this in so many ways, right? We're here to have conversations, not to argue, right? This is why I'm putting these questions out there. I know a lot of them are mind-provoking, challenging, right? And that's the whole point of it. Let's talk about it. Let's get these discussions started. I don't want to debate nobody. Let's have conversations that matter. They could bring solutions to the table. Can we make a change? Can we make a difference? If you've been watching me from the straight from the gate, you will know that I am the perfect example that when we say we're going to do something, we can actually do it. It don't matter what you do in this world. If you put your mind to it, you could accomplish it, right? So do policies punish unity because unity is power, right? And once again, I said welfare rules that penalize two-parent homes, school systems that ignore cultural trauma, courts that turn love into litigation. All right, and what I mean by love into the litigation, right? We see families being destroyed, right, because of the battle of child support, or they fucked up for some reason, right? But then the majority of the times when I see a lot of these women take these men to fucking child support is because they just want the money. They never really wanted them. They just found a way to tame them by having a baby or by doing this or by doing that. And it's crazy. We see it even through the celebrity, how can I say it? Even through the celebrities, right? We see this shit happening, right? Right now, there's people that want me to talk about, Krishan Rock and Blueface, and I think this new guy. I'm watching two people that react on. One is on the Ronnie guy, and one is on Krishan, right? And shout out to Tyrone Motif. Shout out to the Real 716. I think it's his full YouTube name, right? And they're breaking the stories down. And what's crazy is, like I said, it's no different. I don't know if it's a script what they're doing, but it's no different from what a lot of families go through right here within our communities. The stuff that leaders within our communities is trying to break the chains of society, right? So that people within the communities can be who they really are meant to be. But it's hard to do that. It is really hard to do that, right? So it's the system, the greatest weapon, our mistrust, right? Is the system's greatest weapon or mistrust of each other, right? If we believe we can't rely on family, we turn to institutions, and institutions don't love us back. And that's something that we constantly do. Take baby daddies to child support, call the cops, right? For every little problem, instead of calling it when it really matters. When the abuse is happening, I hear so many women and men cover and sugarcoat this shit up and tell women, well, that's your baby daddy. You ain't got to call no cops on him. You ain't got to sit here and take him to court if he's abusing you and he's mistreating. I'm sitting here like, instead of helping her walk away, you're telling her to stay? I'm a little confused. Instead of telling her to get help when she has no type of support system, you're telling her to stay in the trauma that's being created. No, we're trying to help her walk away, not make the trauma worse. So if we believe we can't rely on family, right, we turn to institutions. And guess what? Institutions don't love us back. Who carries the emotional weight in our family, and who gets to ignore it? Often it's women, especially Black and brown women, who are expected to be the emotional backbone in the punching bag. Why do I say that? Pay attention and listen to everything we've been talking about. Are we emotionally bankrupt because we've never been taught to invest in each other? We know how to grind. We don't know how to grieve. We know how to fight. We don't know how to feel. A lot of us don't even know how to carry our emotions. Right? Did your family teach you love or just loyalty? Are you showing up for your people or just performing presence? Is your silence protecting them or protecting the system? All right? Who benefits when you keep your pain private? And what would happen if you demanded emotional equality, not just survival? All right? So I'm not just asking mind-provoking questions, right, that I would like to hear those of you that are watching, right? answer down below in the chat. Have a conversation with a shorty. Those that catching the replay, I would love to hear your comments down below, your perspective, your opinions, right? I would love to hear y'all answer these questions, and let's get these discussions started, right? Like I told y'all, when we come live, right, and we open these panels, even though today is not an open panel, right? But when we do open these panels, right, it's because we want to have conversations that matter. We want to bring solutions to the table, all right? Can change and difference be made? Yes, it's just not going to be done in one day. And it's going to take more of us to come together in order for it to happen. And with that being said, guys, I told y'all I only had an hour to be on this drum, man. The hour is up, man. Oh shit, we got Cutthroat Entertainment in the building. Blessings, blessings. OG, make sure y'all go check out Cutthroat Entertainment, man. Great conversations, great topics, and boy, I'm telling you, he's funnier than Joselito the puppet. He be having the bitches on here being like a booty boy, kibidis twerking on the wall like an alien emoji on some real shit, y'all. But with that being said, man, I hope that, I said something that resonated with y'all, man. I hope that, we get people to get on the comment section down below and start a discussion with a shorty so that we can have more lives like this, right? Let's come together, more unity, right? We want to make a change. We want to make a difference. We're going to have to get our shit together. And that means now. So in the meantime, let me, leave y'all off with this lyrical poem, and I'll be back later.
You understand the seven principles of failure, you understand the seven demons within you. You understand the whole concept. There's a whole metaphysical concept. We can go over that, but anyway, so from a spiritual standpoint now, not only we say demons are on it, what happens when you vibrate in the frequency, when you have those emotions. Understand what the emotions are. Your soul has to express itself. How does it express itself with energy? Right? That's how your soul expresses itself with energy. It's feeling and emotion that you have. That's your soul expressing yourself. So now when you get into emotion, energy, emotion, that's your...
Hey, that makes sense. That explains why I feel the way that I feel and I perceive things the way that I do. Check this out, coach. In a family of tradition, I stand out like a sore thumb. Born into the wrong lineage, feeling like I'm on the run. Surrounded by expectations that I can never meet. Yearning for a different fate, longing for retreat. Mismatched with my bloodline, outside of my own home. Struggling to find my place, feeling lost all alone. Dreaming of a different life where I can truly be free. Cursed with this legacy never quite fits me. Not just born into the wrong generation, but the wrong family too. Bound by blood ties that suffocate and restrain my view. Searching for acceptance in a world that doesn't understand. Destined to break free from this legacy unplanned. I just question everything. Like, they say he's portrayed as a deceiver, but in the scriptures, his words seem pure. If he spoke without deceit, what does that say about the Lord's esteem? You argue over his motives, trying to reconcile the contradictions. If he was truthful indeed, what does that say about the divine needs? Lilith, she's in disguise. A woman who brings the skies to ruin. Her heart so cold. A mother, she's in control. Peter Pan was a fairy tale, or was it? When you look around, the majority of the men are childish. Never want to grow up, being messy, causing chaos, living in the world of make-believe, and never taking responsibility. Lilith in disguise, a woman of deceit, causes mental lust and leads them to retreat. A woman who should be cast away in the world of shadows. She lives in the grave. Tinkerbell's light flickers in the darkness of their souls, searching for eternal youth and fun. But time marches on and responsibilities beaten. Will they ever learn to put away their toys and become men? Lost boys playing games, never wanting to face reality, flying through life with no direction or purpose. Avoiding adulthood like it's a plague to be avoided, leaving a trail of destruction in their wake. Lilith, a mother she should be, but in her heart she's free. She abandons her duty, leaving her children in disarray. Lust in her game, to men she flames. She leads them astray, and they pay the price. Karma. I guess people don't understand that karma can go both ways. It just depends on how, your mind perceives it. Karma can go, real deep,
they're not careful.
Bro, you know that the missing component, like, people think to fit, again, working from the outside in. You have to work from the inside out. The reason people can't manifest because they don't even believe they can have what they ask you. You gotta match that frequency. And belief is a feeling, it's not a thought. Right? This is where people get all this mixed up. So if you feel to think, this is why you have dream goals and stuff like that, right? They want you to look at it and use those 5 senses. Any practitioner teaching you how to manifest things, what do they always say? Go and put yourself around the things you want. Why? So you can use those 5 senses so you can get a feeling of what the things are. So now you have a clear picture of what the things are. So now people will try to manifest and look for the object they're manifesting, but they're not matching the frequency of it. So what happens is the universe gives you things to build you up to matching that frequency, to your own personal belief that you even deserve what you're asking for.
Yo, spitting some gems right there, coach. But for those of y'all in the background, man, check this out, y'all. They say karma's bad, but is it true? Depending on your actions, that's how she'll come for you. She's a friend to me, but an enemy in your head. Karma brings me peace, while in your mind she spreads dread. We blame God for the problems around us, turning a deaf ear to our only mistakes. We blame the devil for our misguided actions, lost in the shadows of regret and mistakes. Elders criticize, we will never return. Cutting off potential, lessons unlearned. Butterflies check with the fools, dreams adjourned. A cycle of disrespect, the flames still burn. Parents strike through, children push away. Generations clash, never finding a way. In heaven in progress, the price we pay. Butterflies grounded, never to sway. The cycle repeats, a never-ending pain. Misunderstandings persist, causing pain. Lost potential lingers like a stain. Generations at odds, searching in vain. We're stuck in a cycle of pain and sorrow, hoping for a better tomorrow. Black lives matter, white lives matter too. It's time to unite and break through. I'm just saying, it's 2025, but it feels like it's 1942. Black lives matter, white lives matter. That's the plea. White man for all the hate that we see. Yeah, we're still killing our own kin. Can't break free. Turning to find peace in this chaotic scene. Racism and violence turning at the seams. Pointing fingers while we continue to demean. Looking ahead with hope in our hearts. Learning from our past mistakes, making new starts. Together we stand against all that turns us apart. Black or white, it's time for a fresh start. We're quick to point fingers at others, but in reality, it's ourselves that we need. The power to change lies within us. Why blame others when we can be our own lead? Just a little food for thought.
You never told you there's something outside you coming into. That's how they get you to accept God is outside. That's that whole concept. God knows in you. That's why when you have a deep desire, things come true. When you have that feeling of God in the way. Because that's true. But it's not outside of you. It's internal. Well, emotion knows inside. Because as a group of people, it's not inside of you. They have to get you to participate and give energy away so they can have those experiences. And that's what most people do. I work for something outside themselves. You're the ones that left you. I should have listened first.
In the balance of right and wrong, karma scales tip where they belong. She rewards my deeds with serenity, but in your thoughts, she breathes enmity. What you sow, you shall reap. Karma's justice runs deep. I find solace in her embrace, while she burns you with no grace. In the wrong generation, oftentimes illusion. God's mixed up in my mother's womb, a cosmic confusion. But I'm out of place, like a puzzle piece misplaced. Searching for my purpose in this unfamiliar space. Born into a world that doesn't quite fit. A old soul trapped in a modern day script. Yearning for simplicity, longing for connection. In a fast-paced world of constant rejection, I navigate this life with an ancient soul's gaze. Struggling to find my path in these chaotic days. Perhaps God had a plan beyond what I can see, to challenge me to grow and set my spirit free.
But they didn't trick you. They told you there's something outside you coming into you. That's how they get you to accept God is outside you. That's that whole concept. God knows in you. That's why when you have a deep desire, things come true. When you get that feeling of God in your way. Because that's true. But it's not outside of you, it's inside. They don't want you to know it's inside. Because as a group of people, it's not inside of you. They have to get you to participate and give that energy away so they can have those experiences. And that's what most people do. I worship is something outside of themselves. You're giving that energy away.
It's a word.
I should have been listening to words.